Hey everyone, welcome back to Cameron's Corner, Utah Real Estate Insights. We're at episode number 6. I'm Cameron Hecking, your Utah County Realtor and real estate coach. In today's episode, we'll cover highlights from Realtor.com's July 11th National Economic and Housing Market Update, as well as a breakdown of what's happening right here in Utah and Salt Lake County. We're then going to talk about our deal of the week, which is D.R. Horton's 3.875% interest rate that is being offered on select townhomes. Whether you're buying, selling, or just staying informed, stick around. All right, let's hop right into it. Talking about some national trends. Realtor.com's latest breakdown of these trends shows a strong June jobs report pushed inflation down, but that sent mortgage rates up to around 6.7%. And the reason that this matters is if you were hoping rates would keep dropping this summer, this caught a lot of people off guard. Even a small rate hike can cost buyers hundreds of dollars per month. This makes any opportunity to lock in a rate under 4% a huge deal, which is why you're going to want to stick to the end to hear about this incentive that we've got going on with a new construction company. That's really awesome. All right, the next point that they touched on is that inventory has grown for the 20th straight month. We are now back to over 1 million active listings nationally, which is the highest level that we've seen since 2019. That means there are more options for buyers and less pressure to compete like crazy. We're seeing that homes are spending longer on the market. We're now seeing homes sit around 53 days, which is 5 days longer than last year. It's a sign that buyers are gaining breathing room and sellers need to get more realistic on pricing. And the last thing from this report is more price reductions are happening. Sellers are adjusting, which is healthy for the market. It gives buyers negotiation power we haven't had in years. So now that we've talked nationally, let's go in and break down local numbers. So I have Utah County and Salt Lake County market data from June of 2025 that I want to get into. First off, let's talk about active listings. We have 6,481 active listings. This is up 30.6% in just the last 3 months. It means buyers here in Utah have more homes to choose from and less pressure to make quick emotional offers. Homes under contract, we see 2,659. That is down slightly from last month, suggesting that buyers are being more selective and maybe waiting for the right opportunity or better incentives to come along. Sold listings are at 2,025. That's a 7.37% drop month over month, which again points to a calmer, more balanced market where not every home is flying off the shelf. Average days on market here in Utah, we saw nationally was 53 days. Here in Utah, for Salt Lake and Utah County, is at 48. This lines up with those national trends and shows that urgency is cooling. You can actually take a weekend to think about a house and still have a shot at buying it. I do want to add in a little note there, though, that if a seller prices their home correctly, if they listen to the advice of their real estate agent, and they price their home effectively for a strategy to get a home sold quickly, you are still seeing homes flying off the shelves within a weekend. However, statistically, the average is showing that that's not the case. So months of supply in the $300,000 to $500,000 range is sitting at 2.52 months. This is a key price point for first-time homebuyers. While technically still a seller's market, it's far less aggressive than it was 12 to 18 months ago. You've got a shot to negotiate now, especially if a home's been sitting longer than 2 to 3 weeks. That brings us to our new listings. We're at 2,976. This is down 4% from May, but still 23% higher than this time last year. That tells me more people are comfortable selling again now that they know the market isn't crashing, it's stabilizing. So the bottom line for Utah buyers is there are more homes, there's more time, and ultimately more balance. And when paired with the right lending or builder incentive, it really could be an ideal time to jump in. Speaking of a builder incentive, I want to go into this week's deal of the week. D.R. Horton is offering a 3.875% interest rate that is fixed for 7 years. So you're not just getting like a 2-1 buy down where for the first year you have a good rate, second year it's a little bit better, and the third year you're at market rate. You are locked in at 3.875% for 7 years. And then at that point, it is adjustable every 6 months. However, you can refinance at any given point throughout this process. So if at year 5 we're at 2030 and you see rates go to 4%, you can go ahead and lock in there at 4% and never have to worry about your interest rate fluctuating from that point. This is being offered on select townhomes in Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, and American Fork. I talked a couple weeks ago about this incentive on some Salem homes, and they still do have a few Salem homes that fit this incentive. So if any of those areas are of interest to you, you have Salem and you now have Eagle Mountain, Saratoga, and American Fork. So let's get into it. The starting prices in Eagle Mountain are going to be from $344,900. Saratoga Springs is going to start you at $385,000. And then American Fork is going to start at $399,900. So as you see, the further west you are, the more savings you're going to get. And then the closer you get to I-15, the more expensive those are. These townhomes range from 1,400 square feet to about 2,300 square feet. Some of them have basements and some of them just have crawling spaces. You're going to have a minimum of 3 bed, and then you can have an option of a 4 bed in some of these communities as well. The real reason I wanted to talk about this and why it really matters is one key word that you hear me talk a lot about, and that is affordability. Say you buy, let's say it's $375,000, somewhere in the middle of the road for easy math. At today's market rate of about 6.7%, your monthly principal and interest might be around $2,430. With this 3.875% incentive, that drops to about $1,760 for your principal and your interest. That's a $670 a month savings, or more than $16,000 over just 2 years, just by using the right financing. Only select homes qualify, and once they're gone, the rate's gone with them. If you want to see a list of qualifying homes or run your own numbers, text me at 385-232-0980 or reach out to me where I'm most active on Instagram at cameronhecking.re. That is it, and it's going to cover everything for today's episode of Cameron's Corner. We covered national and local market trends showing more balance in the market. We covered how Utah buyers now have more inventory and time. And then we talked about a killer D.R. Horton incentive of a 3.875% interest rate, which could be a game changer for your monthly payments. If you're thinking about buying or just want to explore what options are out there, reach out anytime. Again, you can text me or call me at 385-232-0980 or message me on Instagram at cameronhecking.re. I also will be starting a YouTube channel where I'll be doing a little bit more in-depth, whether it's home tours, whether it's going down and breaking down different cities, whatever it might be. If there's anything in particular that you would like to see a visual on and that you would like more in-depth videos on, go ahead and comment them wherever you're watching this podcast so I know what is interesting to you. And if you want my weekly newsletter with tips like this, just send me your email on any of those platforms we've talked about and I'll add you. Most people who are on my email have already seen this 3.875% incentive because I sent it out earlier today. So they're just a little bit ahead of the curve. So if you want super quick information, as soon as I find these great deals, I'm sending them out to my people who I have on my email chain, and I would love for you to be on there as well. That's all I've got for you this week, but I'm going to catch you next week on another episode of Cameron's Corner.